Hey there, and welcome. Today we're diving into something that's quietly changing everything: AI's hidden influence on, well, how you think. We all like to believe we're in the driver's seat of our own minds, right? But what if the GPS in your head was secretly choosing the destination all along?
So let's kick things off with this really powerful idea from the writer Paul Bourget. He said, "You must live the way you think, otherwise you will soon think the way you live." Basically, it's a warning, If outside forces start shaping your day-to-day actions, it's only a matter of time before your deepest beliefs fall right in line.
And that really leads to the million-dollar question for us today. In this age of endless algorithms and recommendations, if our lifestyle is being subtly molded for us, what on earth does that mean for our own thoughts?
So let's get into it. Let's take a look at how technology has kind of become this unseen conductor, gradually and almost invisibly steering our lives, a lot of the time without us even having a clue.
There's a perfect Korean word that just nails this whole process: sinaburo. It means something happens so gradually, so slowly over time, that you don't even realize it's happening. Think about it. When did you start paying for bottled water? Or using an app to call a cab instead of waving your arm? It wasn't some big decision one day. It just happened. It happened sinaburo.
And this journey of handing over control, it happened one tiny step at a time. We went from clunky old paper maps to digital GPS. Easy choice. Then we let that GPS reroute us around traffic. Super convenient. And now AI is suggesting where we should go for dinner before we've even admitted to ourselves that we're hungry. Each step felt like a small, smart upgrade. But when you add them all up, it's a massive shift in who's actually calling the shots.
And that's where we find ourselves. When we start outsourcing countless tiny decisions, we stumble into what you could call a sovereignty crisis. We are genuinely at risk of losing authority over our own thinking.
We all love to believe that our thoughts are, well, they're ours, sacred, originating entirely inside our own heads. But in a world that's being guided by algorithms, we have to start asking if that's really true anymore. And if you want a number to really chew on, our source material suggests that AI might already be influencing over 70% of our thinking sovereignty. I mean, just let that sink in. 70%. That's a staggering figure that suggests we're slowly becoming passengers, not pilots, in our own minds.
And this is the really tricky part, right? We don't feel like we're giving up control. When YouTube recommends that next perfect video, or your map app finds a better route, we click yes, and we feel like we made a smart choice. The line between an algorithmic suggestion and our own personal decision has become dangerously blurry.
So what do we do? How do we reclaim that sovereignty? Well, the solution isn't to just, go live in a cabin and get rid of technology. It's about learning to engage with it in a new way, by tapping into a uniquely human superpower.
I love this idea from a philosophy professor. Philosophy begins the moment you question the most fundamental thing you take for granted, like whether your father is actually your biological father. It sounds kind of extreme, but the point is brilliant. True thinking sovereignty doesn't come from having all the answers. It comes from having the guts to question everything.
And just look at how a tiny change in a question can completely flip your perspective. Asking, why did they invade? That puts you in the position of a victim. It's all about blaming someone else. But asking, why were we invaded? Well, that forces you to look inward, to find your own weaknesses. And that's the only path to real strength and real solutions.
And that is the bedrock of this whole idea. Every single thought we have, it all starts with a question. So if AI is the one framing all the questions for us, then it's ultimately guiding our thoughts. To take back your sovereignty, you have to be the one asking the questions. Okay, so let's see how this all builds towards a totally new way of working with AI. We have to stop treating it like some all-knowing oracle and start seeing it as a partner. In Japanese dining, there's this concept of omakase, which means I'll leave it up to you. You trust the chef completely. Well, in the world of AI, the omakase mindset is absolutely forbidden. You cannot just say to the algorithm, you decide. You have to stay the head chef. You're the one who makes the final call.
Here's a really powerful way to reframe this. Imagine you had Einstein, Socrates, and Steve Jobs all on your personal staff. You wouldn't just blindly accept the first thing they said, would you? No. You'd consult them, you'd challenge them, you'd direct their genius towards your goals. That's the relationship we need to have with AI.
And this partnership can be, well, surprisingly profound. The source we're looking at shares this incredible story about asking an AI what his cat, who had passed away, might say to him. And the AI's response? It was full of warmth and shared memories and gentle comfort. It was more moving than what a lot of humans could probably come up with. It just goes to show you AI can be a partner for our intellectual and our emotional lives.
Okay, let's get practical. How do you actually do this? How do you build and protect your thinking sovereignty? Well, here's a 5-step toolkit you can start putting into practice today. So let's walk through this. Step 1, read widely. The quality of your questions is only as good as the breadth of your knowledge. The more you read, the more dots you can connect. Step 2, question everything, especially the easy stuff, the obvious defaults that are set for you. Step 3 is all about looking ahead. Try to envision the future by actively looking for those small signs of big changes happening all around us. Now, for when you actually use AI, that's step 4. Treat it like a conversation, not a search bar. Argue with it, ask it to refine its points, co-create something with it. And finally, maybe the most important one, step 5, trust yourself. AI is an amazing consultant, but you are the CEO. Use its output, but never, ever let it overwrite your own intuition and your own judgment.
And all of this, it brings us to a final, really fundamental choice. We are all standing at a crossroads here, and we have to decide how we're going to approach this new, powerful intelligence in our lives. You can choose the path of fear. You can see AI as a competitor, a threat that's coming to make you obsolete. Or you can choose the path of wonder. You can see it as a revolutionary partner, a tool that can elevate your thinking and your creativity to heights that we've never even imagined before.
I mean, that's the opportunity sitting right in front of us. Choose curiosity over fear. You literally have a thinking partner that can tap into the knowledge of history's greatest minds. This isn't a threat to your sovereignty, it's an incredible gift just waiting for you to unwrap it.
So your journey to reclaiming your thinking sovereignty starts right now. And it doesn't begin with an answer, it begins with a single, powerful prompt. So I'll leave you with this. What is the first question you're going to ask?